am like overly excited about filming right now. I have been gone and I feel like my break is up. And if you don't know, I am in college. I'm going into my junior year. So this past like week or two, I was finishing up like schoolwork, and then I was also finishing up finals, which I have my very last final this Thursday. So I have like free time up until Thursday. So this video is going to be how to slay without false lashes. I ran across this lady on Instagram.
Whose makeup is Balm.com.
Her Instagram is Karen Jade XX. I will have her name on the screen. And then what's even better is that I can count on one hand the amount of times that I've seen her use lashes. Usually I don't feel complete. Like my makeup does not feel complete to me unless I wear lashes. Her Instagram has inspired me to get better at applying my makeup without having to use lashes. So this video, I'm gonna teach you guys how to slay, honey, because I have came up with a look that I slay in every time and I don't put on lashes. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so I've already done my face makeup and my eyebrows, and I know I look kind of weird because I don't have on any eyeshadow or anything, but that's what we're gonna do now. All right, the first thing when you're doing any kind of eyeshadow, you wanna make sure that you have a transition color, which is just gonna make all of the other eyeshadows that you put in your crease to blend a lot nicer. So for transition colors, I like to aim for like lighter colors, lighter brown shades like this that are matte. Not a shimmer or satin or a titanium finish, any of those, duochrome finish, any of those. You don't want to go for a transition shade. You want to do things like this lighter brown or this lighter color right here if you're fair skin and you're not as dark as me, or if you're even darker, you might want to go in with this shade as your transition. You just want to get familiar with your skin tone as well as your eye shape to know what shadows you want to make with your eyeshadows. For me personally, as a transition shade, I like to use this shade or something identical to it. The reason why I'm not saying like the shade or anything, everything will be listed down below, but for the sake of me explaining in the video, it's not necessary that you guys know the shade names. I just want you to get familiar with the color of the eyeshadow. And like I said, it depends on your skin tone. It might be darker and it might be a lighter brown shade, but you want to make sure that it's something that creates a shadow in your crease. And this is going to serve as our transition shade, and we're just going to apply it to the entire crease area. And I am using the Morphe M441 brush. I like to start it right here in this spot right here, and then I like to move it back and forth just in that area, making sure that I coat my entire crease lightly. You know, you don't want to be harsh because then you have to blend out a lot, but lightly. I'm looking at my mirror right here so I can make sure that I'm doing the correct thing. I want to do a little tap in my transition shade and then apply it to my crease. And that's because it's easy to add layer by layer, but it's hard to take away once you put a huge amount of product. It's hard to take that away. So if you start little by little, it's easy for you to stop when you see that you're getting to be putting too much. So I just want to make sure that it's in my crease, and then sometimes, well most of the time, I like to bring it down onto my lid, just on the outer half of my lid. I try to stay away from coming too far on the inside of my eye. I just want to go in the crease and then a little bit on the outer half of my eyelid. Alright, next I want you guys to take the exact same transition shade that you used in your crease, and I'm going to take the exact same transition shade that I used in my crease, and I'm going to take it on a flat shader brush. Now this one is from Makeup Addiction, and I like this one because it's kind of rough and it has a thick width for a shader brush. And that helps for me to smudge on my lower lash line a lot easier than when it's like a thin eyeshadow brush like the MAC 242 brush. That one is really thin compared to the Makeup Addiction one. I really hope y'all can see this, but I hope I made my point. You just want it to be a little thick as opposed to a thin shading brush. So I'm taking my Makeup Addiction brush and I'm putting it into my transition shade. Let me get a smaller mirror, and I'm going to just tap off the excess and then smudge this on my lower lash line, and this is going to help our eyes to be a little more open so we don't have to have lashes, because usually what lashes do is to make your eyes look bigger and more like flirty. But by placing a darker shade under your eye, and what we're going to do a little later, it's going to act to make your eyes appear a lot larger, and it's just going to complement. Even if you already have larger eyes, it's still just going to complement your eye shape. So we're going to take that shade and smudge it on our lower lash line. And what's also important is that you take the shadow that you're smudging and you kind of wing it out, and you want to connect it with your crease shade. And this is all gonna help everything tie together at the end. So just make sure that you kind of connect it to your crease shade. All right, now we're gonna move into deepening our crease. We applied our transition shade, but we wanna make everything a little bit more darker. All right, so for the next shade, I want to either go into a shade that is warmer or a shade that is cooler. Now, depending on whatever lid shade that you plan on using for that day, that's when you decide if you want to go a little bit warmer in your crease or cooler. If I was going for a lid shade that's a gray undertone, I would go in with a darker brown like this one. So it just depends on whatever lid shade that you plan on using. Today, since I am using a warm shade, I'm going in with a brown like this. It does not have to be this specific one. It could be any warm brown shade that you have. For the sake of this video, I want to strictly talk about the technique as opposed to the specific products, because it's all in the technique. You can have a drugstore product and get the exact same look that I'm getting. I'm just focusing on technique. So we're gonna go in with that same brush that we used for our transition shade, and we're gonna tap in one time, don't get a lot of product, and then just apply this in our outer V area and bring it halfway into our crease. And we're gonna keep this shade lower than our transition shade. All right, and of course, you know what we're gonna do next. We're going to take that exact same shader brush that we used to smudge out our lower lash line and go back in with that same shade that we used on our outer V area, and we're going to smudge that on our lower lash line. Make sure to connect, guys, don't forget that. Now for the lid shade. I'm taking a shade that is really pretty and it has a good color payoff. And this is just going to serve as my lid shade. Now you can use a matte color, like something that has no shimmer. You can use a duochrome, you can use a pigment. Whatever you want to use on your lid is what you should do next. And I'm just opting to use this. The name of it will be down below, like I said. And my favorite brush to apply my lid shade when it is a shimmer is the Morphe G13. This brush is absolutely amazing. It gives a smooth coverage. It has a dual fiber feel that may have something to do with it. But anyway, so I'm going to take my eyeshadow that I'm using and I'm going to apply it on the brush, and I'm just going to pack this on the empty part of my lid. And one thing that I have found out, an easy way to apply my eyeshadow, is if I take the eyeshadow into my crease, just like that, the brush into my crease, it applies the eyeshadow to where when I look down, it's a very uniform look. And I make sure that I place it into my crease and then wiggle it down. Before I figured out that trick, I would just apply it directly to my lid and there would be this open spot right above that, and I'm like, that looks so weird. Keep in mind, you might not have the same lid shape as me, so I would recommend that you try it out. It will help you out if you're having that issue to where it doesn't look like your eyeshadow is totally finished. I want you guys to go back in with that darker shade that you put on your outer V. Tap it in there one time, don't get a lot of product, and we're just going to blend right on top of that outer V section just to make everything blend very nicely together. Alright, so that is all the eyeshadow that we are putting on today. The last thing is the most important thing. Do not skip this step because this is the most important part of this whole look on how to slay without lashes. You want to take a lighter color, whether it's a nude shade or it's a white shade. Either one is perfectly fine. And what we're gonna do with this is we're just gonna line our waterline. So we're gonna take either that white or that nude, and I am taking the white today. And I'm just applying that into my waterline. And this is going to wake up our eyes and make them look bigger and make our lashes look longer. You wanna take whatever mascara. It does not matter. And you're just gonna apply it. But I want you guys to apply 2 layers of this mascara. 2 layers. Yeah, so we're gonna do the first one, let it dry halfway, and then apply another one. And we're gonna do 2 layers for both the top lashes and the lower lashes. All right, my next and final step really is that I'm gonna take whatever highlighter that I use for the day. And today for my glow, I went in with the Mary Luminizer highlights. And I'm just gonna take this on a really, really small brush. Really small brush. I'm just gonna apply this to my inner corner, and I do it on my brow bone, but I kinda did that off camera. So I'm just gonna apply it to my inner corner. Alright you guys, that's the end of this video. I am done teaching you guys how to slay without lashes. What I want you guys to take from this video is to get down the technique, and you can do this with any products. You can have YSL brand eyeshadow and not know how to use it, and then what? I need you guys to learn the technique. So I hope you learned something from this video. You were able to take something. Again, I'm so happy to be back making videos. You guys don't even understand the half of it. I'm always available for questions at any time. Make sure you leave them down below. I get back even quicker on my Instagram if you have a quick question. Make sure you subscribe to keep yourself updated on my new videos, and I promise I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.